Wavesound Audiobooks presents Black Lives, White Law, Locked Up and Locked Out in Australia by Russell Marks, narrated by David Soncin. You were always to blame, and they put you through hell. Then they locked you away in a dark, lonely cell. But you weren't really there, just a little bit wild. Now they'll hound you no more. Oh, my beautiful child. Beautiful child, Archie Roach. I hit the road when I was 15, when my mother died and my dad got mean. I've been locked up since 21. I was my mother's only son. Forgotten most from early days, but I remember what she used to say. Little boy, you're my pride and joy, the only good thing about Old Fitzroy. Old Fitzroy, Dan Soncin. Introduction. The Mass Incarceration Crisis. Aaron. Not his real name, and I've changed many of the details of his offending and his history. The wire mesh between us makes it difficult for me to see the man sitting opposite, and for him to see me. We're in a small cubicle at the back of the Katherine Courthouse in the Northern Territory, and I'm taking instructions from a man who's just signed a retainer to become a client of the North Australian Aboriginal Justice Agency, NAJA. It's mid-2017, and it's my first day duty lawyering in Katherine, where I'll be based for the next couple of years, but the man opposite me doesn't know that. I'd done a couple of days' duty in the Darwin local court, and did plenty in Melbourne, Dandenong and Morwell when I worked for the Victorian Aboriginal Legal Service a few years ago. But the Territory has a fearsome reputation for its use of prison, and I don't really know what to expect. I glanced down at the brief of evidence collected earlier from the police prosecutor. There's a system in Katherine. Each morning, prosecutors bundle together the briefs for all the Aboriginal people who've been arrested overnight and give them to NAJA's duty lawyers. Sometimes they're existing clients. Sometimes they're conflicted out. Perhaps we're already representing the alleged victim, for instance. In which case, they'll go to the Legal Aid Commission, at least at first. Aaron, the young man opposite me, whose features flash briefly into view through the mesh whenever either of us shifts slightly in our seat, isn't new to the criminal justice system. He'd first been sent to Darwin's prison the previous year, before being released to Vendale, an open-air alcohol rehabilitation facility 20 minutes drive outside Katherine. Vendale is run by the Aboriginal community-controlled Kalano Community Association, but its staff are mostly non-Indigenous, and its programs are delivered in English, which is not most of its clients' first language. The remainder of Aaron's prison sentence had been suspended, but only if he stayed at Vendale for 3 months and followed its very strict rules, and then stayed entirely alcohol-free for a further 9 months.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?